Hi, I'm from Group 14. Today we will have a presentation about the drawback and the merit of the US president election. Our presentation has three parts. The first part is about the US president election overall. The second part is about the merit, and the third part is about the drawback. Let's begin with the first part, the US president election overall. In America, there are two main political parties, the Republican Party and the Democratic Party. Of course, there are many parties, but these two are the biggest and have the most influence in American social life. So, you want to be the President of the United States? You have to meet three requirements. First, you have to be the natural born citizen of the USA. Second, you have to be at least 35 years old. And finally, you have to be the US resident at least 14 years. And then you have to be a member of a party, such a Democratic or Republican. You have to show your will to become a president and show your ideas about how government should work to your fellow party members. You have to persuade them you are the best candidate, and they will choose about two people from the party to be their candidate. But a party member will select the best candidate, which means only one, through a series of discussion and vote. They will have a vote to choose the best candidate to represent the party in a general election. If you won this round, congratulations, you have to be the President of the United States of America. You have the right to choose your vice president. And then you have to run a campaign throughout the country again to win the support of the general population. You will have to argue and support your message against your rival from other parties. And when the general election arrive, the people cast their vote. They are actually voting for a group of people known as electors. And then each elector casts vote following the general election, and the candidate who gets more than half will win. If you won this round too, congratulations, you are the President of the United States of America. The first US president election was held in 1789, and George Washington was the first president of the USA. On last November 2016, we witnessed one of the most expensive and intense US president election in history between Donald Trump of the Republican Party and Hillary Clinton of the Democratic Party. Surprisingly, Donald Trump won and has become the 45th President of the United States of America. That's the end of my presentation. Now we move to part 2.
US is currently using an indirect election system. It's also called the Electoral College. The citizens don't vote for the president or vice president, but instead they vote for the electors of their own state to participate in the election. Why did America choose this instead of some other kind of election system? Let's take a look at the advantages to find out. The first advantages would be the system protects minority interests. In other type of democracy, political candidates can try to increase their chances of winning by focusing on only areas that have large populations. However, this is not possible in the United States because the Electoral College grants equal power to each state, and whether they are big or small, or whether they are heavily populated or not. Every state gets a minimum of 3 electoral votes, no matter how small in population. That means that voters in smaller states such as Alaska or Wyoming get a louder voice than larger states such as Florida or California. The second advantage would be the system directs more power to the states. The Electoral College gives each state the right to determine how electors are apportioned. In addition, it also provides each of them the capability to make amendments. In most cases, all electors go to whichever candidate that wins the popular vote in that state, but they can also be apportioned by winning individual congressional districts. And last but not least, the system facilitates a two-party system. Some political activists might not be fans of the two-party system, but the Republican versus Democrat structures brings more stability to the country. The small number of political parties allows for generalized platforms instead of parties focus only on specific issues.
As we all know, everything is like the two sides of a coin. If something has its merits, then the chances are that it will always have some drawbacks as well. My name is Thúy, and I am going to lead you through the drawbacks of the United States presidential election. The first drawback that I am going to mention here is the discouragement. Both parties seem to be very similar, making it hard for the people to choose which side to support. Plus, voters' options are very limited. This lack of choice is the very first thing that discourages people from taking part in the election. Secondly, the Electoral College system is less democratic than it appears to be. A percentage of people will always feel marginalized by the system. The people are not those who have the direct say in who will be elected as president and vice president, meaning they have no direct power at all. And finally, the system also discourages voter turnout. While the candidate having the highest common vote in every state acquires the entire electoral votes within the states with clear favorites, voters will usually feel that their votes take no effect. The system of electoral college does not motivate candidates from campaigning for the turnout of the voters, except in big swing states. Many people feel that their votes do not count, and this discourages them from participating in the election and taking an active interest in the future of their nation. Moving on to the second drawback, which is the impartiality and favoritism during the campaigns. The Electoral College system encourages candidates to focus on certain states. Most states have a winner-takes-all policy in which the candidate with the highest number of votes is awarded all the electors. And this is to the fact that too many states are known to be consistent supporters of one party, either Democrat or Republican, and it's easy to see why many candidates avoid states that aren't likely to vote for them and focus on those that will most likely support them. Secondly, states in bigger swing obtain the majority of attention. In a majority of states, the candidate having the majority of votes acquires all the electoral votes of the state. A few states hold a history of voting consistently the Democrat or the Republican. Candidates will pay less attention to those states having more attention and clear favorites to big states without clear favorite. And finally, candidates often favor the smaller and less populated states. The system of the Electoral College offers power to the small and less populated states, which is unfair with the largest ones. It improves that small states' electoral strength, and traditionally it has privileged the Republican Party. The final drawback that the presidential election often experiences is the unwanted result. It can elect candidates that many Americans may not want. The decision of the Electoral College undermines the vote of the people. Because of this, it's always possible that the elected president isn't the one whom the majority of the voters want. If we look at the 2016 election, we can see this clearly. Donald Trump, despite his unpopularity among the majority of Americans, still beat Hillary Clinton and became the president of the United States. The final thoughts are that by weighing the merits and drawbacks of Electoral College, you should then know where you stand. And the Electoral College can bring about several benefits, but it also has its downsides. Knowing what its pros and cons are is important, so people will know how the Electoral College affects the government and the future of the nation. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.